Okay, no. Meiosis causes increased variation within offspring and it conserves the number of chromosomes between offspring and parent. Meiosis causes increased variation within offspring, and it conserves the number of chromosomes between offspring and parent. It is the major event in the production of gametes, of haploid, I should say haploid gametes. Haploid gametes. So meiosis causes increased variation within offspring, and it conserves the number of chromosomes between offspring and parent. It is the major event in the production of haploid gametes. Asexually reproducing organisms produce clonal offspring. Offspring of sexually reproducing parents are not exactly like each other, nor are they exactly like their parents. This increases the variation in the population. And old timers with me, variation is the source of what?
Old timers with you, what does that mean? I don't think you're old timers.
The force that drives evolution is, or one of the forces is natural selection or the environment. The force is the environment. The source is the source of evolutionary change.
Wait, no.
Natural selection.
Wait, what'd you say? Virtually? Was that Ari?
Natural selection.
Natural selection is the force. Variation in the population. Variation is the source of evolutionary change.
Oh.
But you're right. It's where you start when you explain natural selection for that reason. Variation is the source of evolutionary change. So biologists speak of sexually reproducing organisms or the evolution of sex as ratcheting up the speed of evolution. If more individuals in every generation have variation, evolution happens faster.
So does that mean before there was like sexual reproduction, like it was only mutations that caused?
Correct.
Yeah,
only mutations cause variation. And so well, actually not just mutations. They also did this weird thing where they inject tubes into other organisms and dump their DNA in there in this sort of DNA warfare.
When did they figure out how to do that?
Well, they figured out how to do that a really long time ago. It took biologists a while to figure out that that was happening. And we in old school abio, we used to study that, but and I would do this. I'd walk up to a student and I'd stick my arm out and I'd be like, I'm dumping my DNA into you, right? But I can't do that either because of COVID.
Oh.
Y'all, hopefully that sort of, hopefully that story played out a little bit. Okay, so how might it be advantageous that there's variation in the population?
And what you just said, evolution is quicker.
Evolution is faster. Okay. Evolution is faster, but what about extinction?
If evolution's faster, extinction theoretically is slower.
Yeah, extinction is more often avoided if individuals are variant. In other words, there is a chance, there is a higher chance, no matter what crazy event happens, some individuals have traits that allow them to survive that crazy event. There is a chance. Okay.
And then there were astros.
So we need to define some words I'm going to be using a whole lot. So just like we have autosomes and sex chromosomes, we have regular body cells and we have gametes. So somatic cells are diploid cells of the body, whatever that organism is, that reproduce asexually. So the cells of our body reproduce asexually or clonally. Whoops. Diploid cells of the body that reproduce asexually.
Every time I write sexually, I write in cursive, but I can never do that word.
Gametes, on the other hand, are haploid cells made by meiosis. So everyone say diploid, diploid, haploid, haploid. Now think about your body. It's all made of cells and tissues and organs. All of those tissues and organs, all those cells are diploid, okay? And then I guess think about your gonads for a second. In your gonads, this different kind of cell division is happening where we're making sperms and eggs via meiosis. So let's call them sperms and eggs. Sperms and eggs, okay?
Did you spell sperm with 2 P's?
No,
Oh, that's an E.
it's just a sloppy E.
Wait,
Sperm.
okay, this is just a technical thing in my mind. But technically, we aren't making eggs, aren't you?
Yeah, is that a myth that you're born with all your eggs? I was about to ask that too.
You're born with all your eggs, but they haven't finished meiosis.
Oh.
So they do not finish meiosis until fertilization,
Oh.
which we'll talk about.
Yeah.
In humans, the egg does not complete meiosis until fertilization.
Standstill.
Yeah,
like
your
sitting in
basic
phases.
egg cells are constructed. They're waiting. They're frozen in time. And the longer they're frozen in time, the more likely meiosis won't complete correctly.
And that's why it becomes risky.
Trisomy 21, where the chromosome 21 is not split up correctly, happens because the eggs of the female are, old. And they've been frozen in meiosis for like 40 years.
Yeah, so it gets,
Yeah.
that's why it's harder to get pregnant.
Correct, because they have to finish right at the event of fertilization. Okay, so during fertilization, eggs complete meiosis. And haploid sperm fuses with haploid egg to create a diploid embryonic stem cell
That's a fun word, right?
or zygote.
Oh, I know that one.
We
Yeah.
call this the zygote. Or I write ESC a lot. I'll be writing ESC, and when I do that, I mean embryonic stem cell. So during fertilization, eggs complete meiosis, and haploid sperm fuses with haploid egg to create a diploid embryonic stem cell or zygote. Now, asexual reproduction, we need to write this over here, is also called mitosis. The name for asexual reproduction is mitosis. Write it over here and put it near where I wrote asexually here. Where I wrote the somatic cells or diploid cells of the body that reproduce asexually. I want to identify this as mitosis because today is all about the differences between, it's about the human life cycle. It's also about the differences between mitosis and meiosis. But we're going to familiarize ourselves a little bit with human chromosomes and how we count them and stuff. Okay. Whew. All right. Okay. So everyone say diploid again. Diploid. Okay. So diploid is 2N. This symbol is diploid. It's 2 lowercase n. And if you just write a lowercase n, it means haploid. Okay? It's going to be helpful to know this symbol. 2 lowercase n is diploid, lowercase n is haploid. So here, we're looking at an organism during meiosis, or preceding meiosis. Well, it's actually right at the very beginning. Or mitosis, right at the very beginning, where the chromosomes have been copied. They haven't lined up or anything, okay? So this diagram is an organism that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different chromosomes that have all been copied. This organism has, if we look here, let's say this is maternal. The dark colored chromosomes are maternal and the light colored chromosomes are paternal. Okay. And so what that means is we have like a chromosome 1 that's maternal and a chromosome 1 that's paternal, each of which have been copied. We have a chromosome 2 that's maternal and a chromosome 2 that's paternal, each of which has been copied, right? So this is a diploid organism because it has what kinds of chromosomes? Maternal and paternal, okay? So this organism is diploid, you write 2N, and it has 6 different kinds of chromosomes. 2N equals 6. That is how we write the chromosome number of this organism. 2N equals 6. I think I can get better for them and us. I should stop chewing my nails. I'm kind of tired of seeing my nails up close like that.
I'm the same one. Yeah. I have,
Sorry, I'm trying to get it to focus, y'all.
I bet I'm worse than you.
Oh, that's okay.
Yay!
Okay, so now let's talk about the names of things. So this image is after DNA has copied in preparation for cell division. This image is after DNA has been copied. After DNA has been copied in preparation for cell division. And at this point, we can't tell what kind of cell division. Preparation for cell division. When DNA is copied, it condenses, actually. So we can take pictures of the DNA because it's easier to see when it's all bunched up. So no transcription occurs during the process of cell division, which would make sense. You wouldn't want that to happen at the same time. Okay. This is a eukaryote. It is supposed to be a eukaryote, yeah. So we're looking at a nucleus,
Yeah,
I would say.
we're zoomed in.
Yeah, we're zoomed in. All right, so right here, the two copied versions of a chromosome are called sister chromatids. Okay. They were cloned by DNA polymerase. Connecting the two copied chromosome, or the copies of each other, is called the centromere. On either side of the centromere, we call those parts of the chromosomes the arms.
Oh. Sister chromatid.
Genes are found here. Genes are found here on the arms, not in the centromere.
Is there a technical term for arms or is it just arms?
It's arms.
I like that.
These are considered homologous chromosomes. Okay, homologous chromosomes are paternal and maternal versions of the same chromosomes. Of the same chromosomes, they have all the same genes on them. Okay. So this image is after DNA has been copied in preparation for cell division. These are sister chromatids, which are copies of each other, who were cloned by DNA polymerase. They're connected by something called a centromere. The arms of the chromosomes on either side of the centromere have genes. Homologous chromosomes are paternal and maternal versions of the same chromosomes with all the same genes on them. Okay, so now let's go human with this. Obviously, we're not going to label a human because we are 2n equals 46. Human chromosome count. All right, so we're going to do somatic cells and gametic cells. So we're going to look at sperms and eggs on the right and all the other cells of your body on the left. So somatic and gametic. Another funny name, a gamete or gametic is also called germ. We call sperms and egg germ cells. It's very confusing because a germ is a bacterial organism or viral organism, right? Or not an organism, a virus. But in the olden days, they called gametes germ cells. And you're going to see it a lot in reading and all over the place. All right. So in a human, every somatic cell has a diploid number of 46. 46 individual chromosomes in every cell of your body. In each gamete, they are haploid cells with 23 chromosomes. So of course, somatic cells, they're 2n, which of course means diploid. And gametic cells are a single n, which means haploid. Okay. All right. So every chromosome every chromosome that is an autosome. So first we'll talk about autosomes. Every chromosome that is an autosome has a homologous pair.
I cannot spell the word for the life. I can't spell. Period.
A human has a maternal and paternal version of every gene found on an autosome. Okay, so these were called alleles in 9th grade biology, or some people say alleles. Actually, everyone says alleles. You'll be laughed at if you say allele, but it helps me remember how to spell it, so I can't be blamed.
I don't say any words right. Like, if I can
Why did I
mispronounce
just do
it,
that?
I do.
Excellent. Wait, okay, never mind. I think you're saying unintentional. Okay,
No, I do that.
good. Me too.
I mispronounce them so often.
Excellent. Okay, now
You have this look when it's unintentional.
sex chromosomes, hold on, sex chromosomes only have one homologous region. Called the pars.
Oh yeah, shouldn't what you just put be on the right side?
Nope,
Okay.
you
Oh, that
can't
makes
have a
sense.
homologous region if you only have one sex chromosome.
Yeah, that makes sense. I get it. You're standing.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. All right, P or M is paternal equals P, and maternal equals M. And it's like where the chromosome came from.
We can't see it.
So it's really weird because in my gonads,
We can't see it. We just wrote we can't see
oh,
it.
yeah. I think it's really weird because the way I think about it is my parents live in my gonads.
Yeah, we're done here.
Right? Weirdly, okay?
Can I transfer?
And a strange mix of them live in my gonads, which
Okay,
means,
yes.
which means my grandparents' chromosomes are what I'm made of, in a sense, because those are the chromosomes that were found in my parents' gametes. Now we'll get to this. The crossing over is what happens in your parents. So that's like them adding the flavoring to you or something, right?
Where-
That makes you,
Please do not use the word
Special.
flavoring in
Okay.
connection to gonads.
okay, sorry.
This is not what we're
All right.
looking for.
So the definition of diploid is having
Okay. Woo, we need to-
P and M versions of each chromosome. And for some reason, I have here paternal and maternal again, P and M. I don't know what's happening.
Very important.
Yeah, it is very important. It must be very important for me to repeat it over and over again like that. Although I probably wrote something else up here, but who cares? I can't see my notes because my thingy's on. But I mean, why would I need to look at that? I've been teaching this for a while. Okay. All right, haploid. How genes are coded on chromosomes. So every chromosome in a gamete is either P or M. Okay? There are not two versions of each. And then the gamete has either an X or a Y chromosome. But not both. So not shockingly, haploid means having either a paternal or maternal version of each chromosome. Wait. Yes. Or in a non-sexually reproducing organism, it would just be, we would say, or one version.
Oh, you skipped a box.
I know.
I didn't know that. Damn it.
It doesn't matter.
It matters to me.
Okay.
It matters.
I skipped a box. So haploid means having either a P or M version of each chromosome when we're talking about a haploid gamete in a sexually reproducing organism, or just one version in an asexually reproducing organism. Well, actually, they don't have chromosomes, many of them, but whatever. They only have one version of every gene. They're called haploid. Pars is the pseudo autosomal region. Regions, if it's plural, we're talking about an X and a Y then. The pseudo autosomal regions are the pars.
You know, my elbow's like,
Yeah, wait, why?
So now let's really talk about sex. Here we go. All right, and believe it or not, this diagram, as simple as our labeling of this is going to be, is one of the most important diagrams for any kind of organism in biology. Okay, so here we go. You have? Brilliant.
Yeah.
So this is supposed to be darker, all this.
Okay.
So I'm going to do a little hatchy mark here. Okay.
oh,
And then this is supposed to be lighter. So then I'm going to make this darker here as well to correspond. So in a dark and stormy oviduct, a haploid egg meets a haploid sperm. And oh wait, prepare yourselves. Let me strike the chime. Okay, so it's time for the birds and bees. If you haven't gotten this talk yet, it's happening now. I should have warned you.
I apologize.
I apologize,
Somebody
yes.
has help from you.
Yeah, there is no stork. This is the real story. Get ready. Again, back to the dark and stormy oviduct.
Irene.
That is correct. That is correct. Yes.
Yeah, and Jarrett doesn't hit kids over the head with diagrams of male and gonads when they make a sex joke.
No. Because sex is ridiculous. Okay, here we go.
Slap people on
In
the
a
butt.
dark and stormy oviduct, I cannot believe this evolved, by the way. It's like mind-boggling.
Yeah, I'm
But
wondering
let's
how
not
this
think too
even
deeply about it, okay? Too deep. Okay, sorry.
Oh, it's that kind of class, isn't it?
Sorry. Striking the chime.
I apologize.
Apologize. I am mentally linked to Nina. It's really.
I want Nina to say chime every time.
Yeah, okay. All right, here we go. Okay, sorry. Dark and stormy oviduct, egg meets sperm. Fertilization happens. After fertilization, the organism is 2N. Okay, so up here we have this equals N, this equals 2N. This is called the zygote. Right? It is 2N. It is also called the ESC, or embryonic stem cell. Either one is correct and completely fine. Embryonic stem cell. You're not going to write it? That's fine. Everyone in biology writes ESC. Nobody writes out embryonic stem cell. Okay, the zygote goes through a series of mitoses. Mitosis, okay? Eventually it makes adults. These adults have diploid gonads. This is a diploid ovary.
Jared,
This is a
to
diploid
confirm,
testy. Yes?
to confirm, point, these are two consenting of age adult, correct?
That is correct. Confirmation, yes, you are correct. And in the dark and stormy testy, in the dark and stormy ovary, meiosis occurs, where the cycle becomes complete by the production of two haploid gametes, the egg and the sperm. So that is how we all started in this room.
I feel like we jumped a few steps between that zygote and the adult.
There might have been some dinners and, late night walks and things. I don't know. Oh my God. How did she know? So amazing. I have
So, Jared,
absolutely no idea what this is here for. Yes.
Can I summarize this?
Yeah, so please summarize the story.
So, when a sperm and an egg meet, and then there's zygote, and two zygotes create more zygotes, and they love each other very, 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 very much, and there's probably some dating and some stuff, and maybe marriage, if that's what you're into. Then they make more sperms and eggs, and then there are more zygotes who like each other very, very much.
You skipped fertilization. I'm concerned with some of the biological facts missing. But other than that,
Oh, I guess I did skip fertilization.
I'm also a little concerned with the idea that marriage is necessary for procreation.
No, I said if that's what I said marriage if that's what you're into.
Oh, yeah, you cut out during that. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no,
Was
marriage
there-
if that's what you're into.
Crazy story on the side
Yeah,
here.
when I got married to my wife, my daughter was 8 months, or she was 8 months along with my daughter. So
I was the maid of honor at my parents' wedding. Come on.
here, elbow. Okay,
Now
here we
there's
go.
more complicated stuff.
That's I have
Okay.
been the maid of honor in my mom's wedding.
All right,
twice.
so believe it or not, that's the easy stuff. All right, so here we go. Now let's get
Jared,
serious.
I don't know if that's true.
Okay, well, we'll see.
Jared, you said you were gonna break our brains today.
Yeah, because I'm not stopping. I'm just gonna keep going and going and going. Also, you just learned the birds and the bees. Huh?
You do that every day.
Oh, okay, striking the chime.
That laugh was so, that laughter was so.
Okay. So now we're going to look at, we don't want to use 2n equals 46 to overview chromosome reduction in meiosis. Okay. But essentially, you've got this cell. This is a 2n equals 2. It's a diploid cell. Okay. You've got prophase. You've got metaphase. Whoops, this is metaphase. All right. Then you've got anaphase and telophase. Yeah, look at how important I obviously think they are. Okay. Okay. So 2n equals 2 during
what's
prophase,
this-
you
what's
duplicate the. Sorry?
What's the fourth one?
Telophase. Telo or telophase. Hold on. Ooh, that's better, probably. Okay.
Yes,
Maybe.
that is better.
2n equals 2. So this is a diploid with 2 chromosomes. You got prophase, metaphase, anaphase, telophase. This is all meiosis 1. Okay. This is where all of the female mammal eggs are frozen. In meiosis 1 until fertilization. Okay. Then you've got meiosis 2. Right here. And it's got its own, it doesn't have a prophase, but it's got a meta, an ana, and a telophase. And then finally a cytokinesis, which I didn't even label
I
above.
knew it was a C.
Yeah.
Because I remember there was.
So
an
let's
accent, but I don't
just
know the accent.
actually over here, let's define these words. But at this point in meiosis 2, even though those are copied chromosomes, diploid or haploid? Diploid or haploid, meiosis 2, beginning.
Haploid.
Haploid, even though they're copied, there's only one version in each. Haploid, 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 haploid. You get 4 haploid gametes from one meiosis event, which has 2 parts, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. All right. Okay. So let's go ahead and put the words here. P is prophase, just to help us. M is metaphase. A is anaphase. T is telophase. PMAT,
Yeah.
telophase, telophase,
Because I
telophase.
remember in bio, we were dumb and we found
C.
PMAD to be like hilariously funny.
C is cytokinesis. All of these phases are very kind of genetically derived. Cytokinesis is the actual production of a new cell structure, the actual splitting.
Oh, I misread your writing as like as the I and the N in kinesis being like W and S.
All right, so crossing over, the thing that I care about you knowing about, crossing over happens here. Crossing in prophase and metaphase. Crossing over. Crazy gene switching between homologous pairs of chromosomes. The gene crack. All right. So you need to be able to tell the difference between a figure that is showing you mitosis and a figure that is showing you meiosis. And I will explain to you the differences right now so that you can. So we're going to go back now. We're going to look at a 2n equals 6 again, just like we drew in the other diagram. This is a 2n equals 6 organism. Okay, and we're going to look here at mitosis. okay? And we're gonna label the things we just defined. We have P, prophase is happening there. M, metaphase is happening there. Anaphase and telophase happening there. And finally, cytokinesis, the cells split. So we start with a 2n equals 6. So look over here, we can see this is a 2n equals 6. What do the products look like? Anybody? 2n equals 6 or n equals 3?
N equals 3. No, 2n equals 6. It's mitosis.
They look like 2n equals 6. So we start cell division and end cell division with a clone organism. Mitosis starts and ends with the same number of chromosomes. The same diploid number, let's just say that. That is one important point. During P, is everyone okay with me just using the symbol P? Great, because we defined it above. During prophase, chromosomes are copied into sister chromatids. Other cell stuff goes on, ... Remember, this is genetics we're studying, so we don't care. M, metaphase. Chromatids line up single file in the center of the cell.
I think I did in bio like an activity where we all, as a class, did mitosis. That was fun. I remember that.
Oh, that's a good one. I like that one.
So I actually have with me, because we had to do this project where we created like an artistic representation of mitosis. I have with me my project because I found it while I was digging around my room. It was like this massive, badly done embroidery, but it just has all the steps in it.
You've gained a few skills since then, have you?
Just a few.
Anaphase. Well, you will remember these pretty well then, because the visual and embroidery is a really good way to visualize these. So anaphase is sister chromatids are pulled to opposite sides of the cell. To opposite sides of the cell. Telophase, chromosomes gather in as a new nucleus forms. Cytokinesis, 2 new cells form. Now, one thing that's really important to know and not really important for assessment in this class is that each of these stages moves without any stopping point into the next. And I've left out all the cellular stuff that's going on because it's just not relevant to what we're going to be focusing on, which is the genetics of vertebrate development. So I have not included all of the information that there is, and I don't think we need to know it, right? That's kind of memorization-y kind of stuff that's not going to help us understand what we're trying to learn. So I've kind of simplified all of it. But I do want you to be able to tell the difference between, everyone say mitosis, mitosis, or asex, and meiosis, meiosis. of the production of gametes. Okay, so now let's do meiosis. Okay, here we go. Meiosis. Okay, so I'm going to put a star next to differences. So in mitosis, I could put a star at the beginning because we said we start and end with the same diploid number. In meiosis, we would say we start with one, and I hate the fact that we're kind of, there's like a polar body and stuff with egg production, so it's like actually doesn't end the same, but whatever. We start with one diploid. We're going to simplify it, okay? And end with 4 haploids. So we look at the diagram, we see there's a diploid right there, 2n equals 6. We go through prophase 1. We go through metaphase 1. We go through anaphase, telophase, cytokinesis 1, 1, 1. And then we go through anaphase 2, telophase 2, cytokinesis 2. Meiosis 1, meiosis 2. Somebody tell me another difference other than the starting and ending, which we've already named. Already you can see.
In meiosis, chromosomes aren't copied into sister chromatids.
They are copied into sister
They
chromatids.
are? Yep. Oh, there's 2 of them in there.
But they're 2 by 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got it, but so it's hard to see. The diagram's little. The one in the textbook is the same one. That's where I got it's bigger. So in prophase 1, DNA is copied. And sister chromatids line up double file. So wait, sister chromatids form tetrads, sorry. It's called tetrads. Okay? Crossing over starts. So this is different. Then in metaphase 1, sister chromatids line up double file. Not single file. A1, A2. So, sorry, during anaphase, sister chromatids are pulled together.
Jared, can we slow down for a second?
Sure, sorry. So stars are all differences. Sorry, I'll slow down. I'll just read what I've written. Meiosis, we start with 1 diploid and end with 4 haploids. In prophase 1, DNA is copied and sister chromatids form tetrads. That's this weird thing where they're bunched up 4 across. Sister chromatid next to its homologous set of sister chromatids.
Yeah, they're like.
That's when crossing over starts. Sister chromatids during metaphase 1 line up double file. During anaphase 1, sister chromatids aren't separated like they were in mitosis, but they're pulled together to opposite sides of the cell. Okay, then telophase 1, T1, and C1 aren't any different. See above. Okay, but then A2, T2, and C2, okay, see above. What's different here is there is a second cell division. And this time, anaphase acts like it did before. That's why I said see above here for anaphase 2, because now the sister chromatids get separated from each other and pulled to opposite sides in the new cell division. And we end with 4 haploid cells. N, 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 N haploids.
Reader?
Sure, I'll give us a second. I do want to write down the coolest fact in the whole world, which is how unique you are in the universe. And it's a good way to end the week, I think. We have already messed with this diagram. I've left it here for you to be able to kind of think about. And you know, as another space, including the review guide of like answering maybe questions about that. But I want to look at this. So this is crossing over. This is, well, it's not crossing over, I'm sorry. This is independent assortment, sorry. So look at this. If we have a 2n equals 4 diploid, okay, and these are maternal and these are paternal, we see here that the chromosomes could line up during metaphase in tetrads. It could be maternal, maternal, paternal, paternal. Or it could have happened this way. That is going to cause more variation, right? We're going to have different gametes because of that. We are 2n equals 46. So there is a tremendous number of independent assortment options here. So this is called the random assortment of tetrads. So because I'll give you the numbers. Because of the random side alignment of sister chromatids in metaphase 1 in 2n equals 46 humans, there are 8 million genetic possibilities.
Lovely. And that's just combinations of your two parents.
Well, also, yes, because fertilization is also random. We're not done though. We'll be done in a second. Because of the random side alignment of sister chromatids in metaphase 1, in 2n equals 46 humans, there are 8 million genetic possibilities anytime 2 individuals mate, because fertilization is also random.
And then crossing over.
Crossing over. There are 5 to 7 crossing over events during meiosis. This is where proteins switch genes, right? Switch genes between these chromosomes right here. Switch, okay? Sorry. This brings the genetic possibilities from any mating event, genetic possibilities in one human mating to 2.1 trillion. Because crossing over does not ever happen the same twice. There are 2.1 trillion different genetic combinations that two of the same people producing an offspring can have for their offspring. It's more than the grains of sand on all the beaches in at least North America.
And
Possibilities.
it is approximately,
There's like a website.
it's approximately like 35 times how many years the universe that we know of has existed. That's it's 13.
That's a long time. It's a
Yeah.
lot.
There's 13 billion. No, it's more than it's more than.
Jarrett, could you go back
Yes.
up to the part above that? Because I like missed that. I missed
Oh yeah,
that.
sure, totally. Sorry. Let me pin it.
Oh my god, my legs.
All right, y'all, good work. I told you there'd be a lot of notes. Sorry about that.
It's okay. I said my legs. To be fair. No,
Oops.
they didn't do the knee thing. They just were
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
sitting with my legs in a weird position.
Thank you, Jared.
Good work, folks.
Thank you, Jared.
We're done with all of the information that is relevant to Unit 2B.
Oh, that's good.
Other than our information relevant to gender, sex, and sexual orientation, and the intersections with biology, the biological basis of them, and then also how the uncomfortable intersection between that and societal norms, which is our next major topic.
Sounds fun. I'm so much slower than you guys.
All right, thanks, Jarrett. I'll see you on Monday.
Yep. Oh shoot! I threw my pen on the page. Sorry, Katie. See y'all. Yeah, see y'all Monday.
Yeah. You can leave.
Oh, this is gonna be terrible. I was still recording. It's like a 70-minute Zoom recording. There's no way it's gonna render.